Hey everyone, have you ever heard of Japanese internment camps in America? Probably not, because despite the fact that over 120,000 innocent people were locked up there, most Americans have never even heard of them. But during World War II, the United States locked up over 120,000 innocent people, just because of their race. These were not criminals. They were American citizens of Japanese descent. Many were born in the U.S., spoke English, and had never even been to Japan. After the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, fear and racism spread fast. The U.S. government decided these people were a threat to national security, without any evidence, so they forced them to leave their homes, their jobs, their schools, and their lives. Within a few weeks, hundreds of thousands of people were arrested and sent to camps in remote areas surrounded by barbed wire and armed guards. They were told they were being relocated for their own safety. But really, it was so the government could control them and keep them from escaping. The government also took their belongings, including their houses and businesses. Many were given just a few days to sell their property, and if they couldn't sell them quickly, the government took them. Sometimes neighbors and local police helped round them up. The media supported it. Even the Supreme Court allowed it. The court case was called Korematsu vs. United States, and although it was about racial discrimination, the court ruled that it was okay. In reality, these camps were concentration camps. Families lived in tiny barracks with no privacy. People had to use outdoor toilets, and most of the buildings were freezing cold in the winter and burning hot in the summer. There were long lines for food, and people often didn't get enough to eat. People lost everything. Businesses were shut down. Homes were stolen or destroyed, and none of them were charged with a crime. They had no trials, no chance to defend themselves. It didn't matter if you were a child, a mother, a war veteran. If your family was Japanese, you were taken away. For years, people tried to get the government to admit what it had done was wrong. Only in 1988 did the U.S. government admit it was wrong. President Ronald Reagan signed a law saying the government should apologize to the survivors and give them small payments. The payments were meant to be for the property the government had taken from them, but they weren't very much. Also, by then decades had passed. Entire lives had been changed forever. What's worse is that most Americans still haven't heard about these camps. It's hard to believe that this part of history is almost completely forgotten. It's shocking to learn this when America is supposed to be all about freedom and democracy. So why is this important to know? Why should we remember this part of history? Well, first, it's important to remember all the people who suffered. Over 120,000 innocent people were put in camps just because of their race. They were arrested without any evidence that they had done anything wrong. Their houses were taken from them, and many of them lost everything. It's important to remember these people and honor their stories. Second, we need to remember this part of history to make sure it never happens again. It's easy to think this kind of thing could never happen in our country, but it already has. During World War II, the U.S. government used fear and racism to take away the rights of Japanese Americans. This is a warning for us to be careful when we're scared. Fear can make us do things we normally wouldn't do, things that go against our own laws and our own beliefs. When we stay silent about dark chapters like this, we risk repeating them. Finally, we need to remember this part of history because it happened here. It didn't happen in some far-off country. It happened in the United States. This is our history, and we should know about it. We should talk about it, and we should learn from it. If this shocked you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.